In this workshop, I'll show you how to make your own beaded beads using Swarovski crystals. So take a look at the beaded bead here on the earrings. This will give you a little taste for what I'm going to show you how to do, and you won't believe how easy it is. Now you can use any size of bicone. So I have a couple here that you can see the difference between tiny little 3mm and 6mm. You could use smaller, you could use larger, you can use 4mm, which would be in the middle there. Just make sure that when you choose your beading wire, the diameter will be able to pass through the beads several times. Okay, so to begin, you cut a piece of wire that's about 12 inches long. And I recommend starting with 013 or 015 wire. And you'll want to use 49 strand because it's the most flexible. So the first step is to string 4 of the bicones onto the wire. And you don't need to add a stopper, just be careful when you're stringing so that they don't slide off the other end, because we'll be working with both ends of the wire. So for the first stitch, you'll string the 4 beads onto the wire, and then what you'll do is position them with the beads in the center. Okay, then bring one up a little bit so that you can access the hole. And a tip for that is to just hold it against your finger and wrap the wire back and catch it with your other finger so that the hole is exposed, and you can pass your wire through the other end. All right, and then you pull your ends even. So just carefully hold the ends and slide the bead down using very light tension. And you'll adjust that so that it's right in the center of your wire. So you have what looks like this. Okay, so the next step is to add 1 bead to each side. And this will show you how the pattern is going to start developing. So add to each side, and then add 1 again. This will be the one that we pass through the other side. So I'll catch it with my finger, pass through. All right, so you're going to do this, pull it down, and see how I have 2 stitches there? This is also a great way to give a little practice to doing some beadwork if you've never tried it before. So you have 2 stitches there. Okay, so on this piece, I left it a little bit loose so that you can see here's the first stitch, here's the second one, here's the third one. Now you're going to just tighten it down and add a 4th bead. Or I'm sorry, add another bead to finish your 4th stitch. So just adjust everything so that it's fairly even, then add 1 more bead, and then stitch that up. Now at this point, you're just going to add another bead to each end of the wire, and then we'll be ready to stitch it up. So pass through a bead on each wire, and then I'll show you how it folds. You bring the wire ends through each side of that first bead that you stitched, and then you fold it kind of into a little tube, and then you pull everything tight, and you want to be gentle when you do that, but you can see that it makes a bead shape, and see how it forms a little star here on the side? This is where you'll string it. Okay, so I want to be sure to show you my samples, but what you would do is pass this wire all the way around this part of the bead, and then you just add a little bit of glue, let it dry, and then cut the wire ends. And we'll have the complete instructions online. Let's take a quick look at the sample so you can get some ideas for how to use beaded beads in your jewelry. You can string them onto head pins to make earrings. You can string them directly onto hoop earrings. These are just some ways that you can incorporate different colors, and it's a fun way to add a hand-beaded look to your jewelry designs.